great things in business is never done by one person. You need a team. So as an entrepreneur, you need to know how to build a team and how to lead a team. That's the number one. Then even for our customers, I always say, "Hey, can you guarantee that this system will work, or this will solve all my problems?" So I said no, I can't guarantee that. But one thing I can guarantee: when the system breaks or that doesn't work, we will make sure that we'll be there to help you and fix it. So my first experience was in a startup is at my primary school, which was a startup. We didn't have proper infrastructure in the school. We didn't have a lot of teachers, but leader. The principal was on the game. Be the best in what you do now. Like if you're an engineer, you're a sales guy, be the best sales guy in that company, in that industry. And people will remember that when you want to start something, right? If you're a guy who shows up, gives a big talk, and then not to be seen, right? And when the shit hits the fan, you're not to be seen. No one going to give you business when you are an entrepreneur.
Surge of entrepreneurs coming up on a LinkedIn, they call themselves entrepreneur. Zero credibility, right? So that's advice for them. Build something, build credibility, and then things will be easy. So one of the things that I'm really excited about this video, this part of the world, in Sri Lanka especially, there are people who are successful, but they rarely share the secrets. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is a unique episode because usually I talk and you guys listen. Now I brought a very special guest. As you know, in the world of entrepreneurs, statistics says now 96% of the businesses you start today will not be there in 10 years time, right? Only 4% survive. From the 4%, only 2% will be actually profitable. Rest of the 2% are just barely surviving. That's how tough the entrepreneur world is. Not to discourage you, but those are the statistics. And there are clear reasons why it's happening. So once we learn that, you can avoid that. So one of the things that I'm really excited about this video is that this part of the world, in Sri Lanka especially, there are people who are successful, but they rarely share the secrets. It's one of the problems that we have as well. So I'm very grateful and highly appreciative. Imal Kalutotake, founder and chairman of NCINGA, and so previously NCINGA Innovations. And how they have built something went from zero to $10 million in a span of roughly about 3 years. And they did it twice. So we'll first start from where they actually started. So Imal, welcome to the channel. So can you tell me so you're an engineer by profession, academically. You went to Morato University. You studied down in the college. Went to Morato University. So you studied locally.
Yeah.
Right. And then you started this venture. So with no inherited money, right? You started from zero and then went up to $10 million. So at the beginning, what worked out?
First of all, Ramindu, thanks for having me, and pleasure. I've watched some of your videos and it's very inspiring, and especially the one you talked about how our spirits has been crushed. So, superb videos. So congratulations on that. So coming back to your question, so how I started, I'll go a little back to my childhood. Right, I was brought up in Gampaha, a village, Ihalagama. My parents were normal, government servants, and that too in lower ranks, not the high ranks. And but I had a very good childhood where I've experienced a lot of things with the nature, with paddy fields, in rivers, and climbing trees, all those kind of stuff, activities. All the life skills were there. There where I learned how to work with teams, how to interact with people, how to lead people. Right. So my first school was, a lot of people would like to associate with big schools, like whether you're from Anand or Royal, whatever, right? But my journey started from Sri Bodhi Vidyalaya, Gampaha. right? So that's my primary college. And that was also a startup. And when the principal, Jayasena sir, when he started the school, no one wanted to join that school. A lot of people went to Bandaratu, Gothami, or those schools where they were the schools producing a lot of scholarship, fifth grade scholarship, and then they can go to big schools in Colombo. Now, Sri Bodhi Vidyalaya was not known. So he started and he went to house by house. Somehow he knew my father, came and said, Putawa, dinna mata කියලා. I think so my first experience was in a startup is at my primary school, which was a startup. We didn't have proper infrastructure in the school. We didn't have a lot of teachers, but leader, the principal was on the game, right? He was building it. And then when I grew up, like eventually, when we were in the 5th grade, school was good. Like a lot of people knew about it. A lot of people now wanting to join. Now, actually, if you look at now, that is the best school. Produced a lot of scholarship students into the Colombo schools. Now they are the number one, right? So I was lucky to be in the part of that startup journey. And when I was in the 5th grade, I was made the head prefect of that school. So that gave me that confidence. Also, why they gave me was probably they identified my working with people, working with other kids, and the leadership qualities. So that why I'm talking about this is one of the things. Who's an entrepreneur? Entrepreneur solves problems in a novel way, and he needs a team to take it through. Great things in business is never done by one person. You need a team. So as an entrepreneur, you need to know how to build a team and how to lead a team. That's the number one. This is a lot of people are individually brilliant, and a lot of people, thinks that because they're individually brilliant, because I'm an engineer, I'm from Moratu, I'm from Stanford, I'm from Harvard, I'm great, and I can build a great company. It's not that, in my view, yes. Right?
That's the point a lot of people miss,
right? So it's about building great teams in startups. Yeah, I started from there. Then I went to Ananda College, wake up in the early morning, walked in the bus station, take the bus, then take the train, went to Maradana, eat in Maradana canteen in the station and Dhaulagiri, and then walk to Anand, right? And then that's the end. So we made a lot of friends and had a lot of fun. So that's how. And then Moratu, I met a lot of good people from all around the country, a lot of good brains. And Moratu was a great place where a lot of people don't know that it's Google Summer of Code. They've been winning it year hands down, beating all the top universities in the world.
So that's something very new to a lot of guys. So Moratu University basically number one, ranked by Google. What's it called? Google
Summer of Codes. They conduct this programming contest, which all the universities, entire world is participating. Right. So it's about algorithm. It's about coding. Right. It's about brains. So our guys,
number one. That's amazing.
Like most number of wins. And in fact, one of the Google Summer of Code winners is currently working for us, NCINGA, right? So we attract that kind of talent.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So anyway, coming back to the question, again, I feel that your background, your upbringings, in a way that you work with teams, you have gone through difficulties. I had a lot of challenging experience in my life. My father, I lost my father when I was very young. So my mom, single mom, bringing up 3 kids, it was tough. Like one time, like we were all 3 in the university together, and it was very tough for her to kind of finance all that, right? So all that kind of helped me to be the person who I am. That kind of helped me to build, these companies ground up, and also be still grounded, because I've seen it through. Because I started my career as an engineer, work locally, and then work for Cisco, IBM, HP, did regional roles based out of Singapore, did global roles. So where I could learn tricks of the trade, all the skills around sales, the negotiation, engineering, consulting, project delivery, in how to do that in multiple cultures. So by the time I started my own company, I didn't even know the word entrepreneur by then. And so, but it just happened because I got bored working for these large multinationals, because you have very less freedom. You get paid well, you have a big title, but you really you can't do much. You're just delivering a number, and every Monday I had to convince myself, hey, I have a tough week to go ahead, right? To convince myself in the Monday morning in the shower that I have to go to work, right? That kind of chronic pressure you have on. So I wanted to be free and be meaningful and do something. So in that context, so I decided once, okay, I was thinking about it like for a time. And then there was a great opportunity for me, because when I was at HP that time, there was a workforce reduction program, Golden Handshake. Right. So I thought this is the great time for me. Take that and leave and start my own thing. So I was the best employee in that segment the year before. So I got a trip to Hawaii with the family as a reward. And the next year, that entire division is gone. And so this is how the things work in multinationals, right? Because you can be the star last year, and next year you're gone, right? But the good thing for me is, like, I had a great boss, Thomas and Hauser. So he put me in a good package. Said, Imal, he knew my aspiration. He said, hey, I was trying to do this for a long time. I never did that. You better go and do it. And he negotiated me a good Golden Handshake package. So I walk out. I convinced myself, what's the big deal? I tried this for 3 years, and I had now money to survive. And I tried this for 3 years, and then if it doesn't work, what the heck, I go back. And in that, if I stayed the 3 years there, I probably learned very little incrementally. But now I go back, I start something, I'm an entrepreneur, I have tried something, I can go back in even a bigger role. In 3 years, they would never take me in a bigger role, because, I will be just going through the step by step, right? But now I start a company, and then I'm an entrepreneur, and then I can go back in a much higher position, because I have a different kind of. So that's how I convince myself. So nothing to worry, right? So because the worst case is also a better case, right? Than maintaining the status quo. Then I convinced myself, and then came out, and I had my long-time friend Vijay, and he also, by that time, he was in US. He had also come back, and he also wanted to start something. So he already have started. So what? Then I was kind of anyway pumping. I was the kind of investor by then. But when I got the Golden Handshake, I came out fully, and then we started NCINGA Innovations. NCINGA Innovations was already started in 2014. Right. So it was a great journey. 2019 we exited. 5 years on paper. 5 years on paper, but actually I was with HP like about 2017. So for me, it's like about a 3-year journey, right? Actually, that is where the real growth happens. We build the product, we sign up great customers. We had like about, close to about 100 factories across 6 countries. We expanded the business. And all that we could do because we had that experience. The point which I'm trying to take is when I was an entrepreneur, I started my journey in like late 30s, early 40s. By then, I had like a 15 years of experience behind me in engineering, sales, business development. I could understand contracts, I could negotiate, I could, understand the finance, the legal, all that. And also the network is also set.
Yes.
We knew how to get on a plane and create a partnership and do a business outside. That probably was the education and the experience I got, right? To be, for my risk of failing was my chances of success is higher by then already, because I was debt free personally, and I had my basic, the house is done, paid, right? So I was not like kind of stretched financially by then, because I have built certain level of wealth with my
basically,
profession.
You didn't start the business because you had to pay off debts or anything, right? That pressure was not there.
No. And I didn't start off the business also not to get rich, so I want to be the entrepreneur in social media or not for the limelight.
Yes.
Right? I really wanted to do something which kind of satisfy.
Exactly. That's the problem.
Right? So, and to wake up every day and go and do something meaningful. That was the reason. There's nothing, it was not about money, it's not about the fame or anything. It's a purpose, right? And then we build the product also to be the world's best manufacturing execution. That from the day one we were clear, world's best manufacturing execution system. We're going to build right out here with our team, and we're going to build that world's best and empower data-driven decisions for the manufacturing. We were very clear, right? That was the mission. And then it's a big mission that we were going for it, right? And that was the mission. It's not about money. And
so the purpose, right? I always say, it's all about the purpose. So you need to have the purpose set.
Yeah.
So what's your purpose? What's your intention?
Yeah.
And then everything will be aligned.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if it is money, then I wouldn't have left, because when that golden handshake happened, other divisions of HP came to me and, hey, we want to take you in. You take the same salary. I said, no, I want to go back to Sri Lanka. I said, no, you have the same salary. Your employment is here, you go and work from there. And those days, like, I was in like $20,000-$25,000 a month kind of a package, and I could be like a king here, right? Yeah. I left everything and come because it's enough for me. I wanted to do this, and we were on a bigger mission, bigger purpose, and that kind of drove us. It was never the kind of money or getting rich quick kind of a scheme, Right. So that's how the start happened. And Vijay was, it was not me, right? It's the team. And there was Vijay, then there was Adisha, there was Mudit, Shadika, Gayan. There were a lot of great people joined along the way.
So tell me about the very first deal that you landed. What made it through?
So in NCINGA Innovation, first deal we landed, good deal we landed at MAS. Right, that's again I said, like, by that time we have built a network, we have established our credibilities. Everyone would know that these guys, Himal, Vijay, they have been fantastic track record academically, professionally, and also personally.
Right.
Credibility, like if they say something, they'll do it. And they won't back down easily on something, right? So that's the personal credibility that we have built. So because of that, and we had also the network because of the way the schools, university, and then the places we have worked. By that time, we had built a big network, and that network had a huge value, right? It's an intangible value. And they were ready to help us also.
So your best advice is build credibility.
Build credibility. and be the best in what you do
What you
now.
do,
Like if you're an engineer, you're a sales guy, you be the best sales guy in that company, in that industry, and people will remember that when you
Yeah.
want to start something.
Yeah.
Right? If you're a guy who shows up, gives a big talk, and then not to be seen, right? And when the shit hits the fan, you're
Yeah.
not to be seen. No one going to give you business when you're an entrepreneur, right? So, and you're the guy who have moved from one company to other for short-term gains. No one going to hire you. No one going to, trust you, right? So build your credibility in what
First.
you do,
Yeah.
first,
Yeah.
and that will not. You should not do that because that's going to pay you later. You should do that because that's the right thing to do.
Sincerely,
Right?
yes.
Yeah, sincerely, right?
Exactly. Not as a trick.
Yeah, not as a trick.
Genuinely, because
Yeah.
that's why we have a surge of entrepreneurs coming up on a LinkedIn. They call themselves entrepreneur. Zero credibility, right? So that's advice for them to build something, build credibility, and then things will be easy.
Things will be easy. So coming back to the story, the first big deal we landed MA is because we had a lot of friends. They were in the same university as us, so maybe they were in the same school, or maybe they were in a different school, but we went together in the same train to school, so few of those friends kind of, but for them also can't help because MAS was a corporate, and because you're a friend, you can't just. We had a great product, but they could open the door, and then others will qualify you, right? And they'll scrutinize you because you're a small company. And we went through all that, and that was our big breakthrough. And once MAS is in, and our product is running in one of the largest apparel companies who produce Nike to Victoria's Secret, all that. I mean, then that is a kind of a validation of our product, and they put this in your factory and they're paying you is a big validation. So then that kind of, when we have that, it was much more easier for us to go and pitch in other countries, in India to Bangladesh to Vietnam to Indonesia to Singapore, wherever you go, we had that valuation. So that was and there were few people who have helped us in that journey. I mean, Duleep, Jayalat, Rohan, who recently died, then Damit, Ranjan, Prasann, Jehan. There were a lot of people, who have
help. Yeah. So yeah, that's the other
in
thing.
MAS I'm talking.
MAS inside. So and the
Tamir, there are a lot of guys. I'm sorry guys if someone is listening. I forgot a name. I'm really sorry. Maybe we should take all the names.
That's I mean, it's great that top of your mind you remember a lot of names, which is important. Important that we share that also because we have to give the credit. It's like you said, it's a collective.
Yeah.
People say, I'm I'm self-made. I don't believe that.
There are a lot of people. I mean,
support you, right?
Yeah.
To get there.
A lot of people support me, and I wouldn't have been here without those support.
So the next problem that I see among entrepreneurs, even successful entrepreneurs, is now the next thing is relying on other people and building a team. Yeah. So how do you do that? How did you do that?
I think one of the things that which I was lucky with, I was always good. I was lucky to have such a great set of people around me. I don't know if someone have written the script, or I mean, somehow I attract a lot of people with the right vibes. At the same time, you also attract bad people, but they can't stick around, so they'll go. So I'm lucky to have attracted a lot of good people in and for the common goal. So that probably is one of the success factors. The team is the key, because if you have the right team, if you know how to build the right team, and then ideas will come. If you have the right team, you can build great products. You can try different markets and execute. If this market doesn't work, go to the other market, go to another country. If this product doesn't work, you pivot it, right? And you need to raise funds. So for all that, number one thing is having a great team. You have the great team, your half of the problem is solved. So that's the team is the most important thing, is Jai. I mean, I don't do much these days. I mean, it's the team who does it, right? And I'm so lucky to have a set of people, and even in NCINGA, great set of people, from Harin to Kokum, there are a lot of Dhammika, there are a lot of good people, Vajira, and then on iFinity, Vajira, Jitendra, Prabhat, right? So there are a lot of good people around me, even right now. And then we have Inventures, Ashok, Chalind, Tarind, a lot of good people around.
So you went from, let's say, okay, you went from 0 to 1 million. Right? So what I always believe is like, okay, the journey, the things that you have to do from 0 to 1 million and then 1 million to 10 million are different. You can't do the same thing that you did from 0 to 1 to 1 to 10.
Yeah.
So what did you do differently from 1 to 10?
0 to 1, you need a different type of people. Some people will 0 to 1 and 1 to 10 also they are good, right? So, but some are maybe not, right? So you need different kind of mentality. Like when you're 0 to 1, it's like you're building you're raising your kid, right? You have to do everything yourself and your team is doing. And once you do that and you're successful, then you need to start putting a structure, process, bring in the right people, attract right people. Now, for example, at NCINGA, like we had to bring in people, different set of people to take us to the next level. Like, for example, we had to hire a good CTO from outside because he brought in the right talent, like Chatura. And, similarly, top architects, we had to bring in from top companies outside, people who had, because we want to build an international company, right? So we need to have that level of people who can go and face those international clients and have those kind of transformational conversations. And so you need that level of architects, sales guys, the engineers to go in there, right? But you think like will they come for you in the 0 to 1 journey? They might not join you, right?
Correct.
So they will join you when you are at that 10,
level,
right?
Yes, exactly.
They won't join you when you are in 0 or 1,
correct.
Right? So, but at the same time, the guys who are in 0 to 1, they are good in that, or 1 to 10, and they may not also enjoy this thing, right? So that's the right. I mean, you need to figure out.
So that's the important transition, right?
Yeah.
So like this is where a lot of entrepreneurs get stuck in a plateau. I know so many guys in Sri Lanka hit $1 to $2 to $3, $4, $5 million revenue, and they've been stuck there because they don't know how to make those decisions now. Bring a different team. It's time for us to bring a CTO who's been there doing 10 million. That's where the problem is. Right? So
I mean, true. I mean, see, I also want to highlight, it's not about like using people to get to a certain level and kicking them out, right? So it's about bringing in the right talent and to go into the next level. You also need to take care and compensate and take care of people who are being with you, right?
From the beginning.
But you need to identify the right role for them.
Yeah, correct.
Right? And then you bring the right people to to build the structure,
And probably groom the existing one.
groom the others to go into that. And there's a process, right? And that is where we work with training and development coaches like you and Nalaka and all these people. So it's important to bring that structure, and then also you to kind of come outside and also look at it, because there's lot of founders, when you build it, there's this syndrome called founderitis. It's like you're too attached to it, right?
Yeah.
So you're too attached to it, and then you think like, I can't give this because if this guy, whether he can do it, or if I give it to him, he would get to know all the secrets, and then he might take and run away with the business. Or like,
No, it's actually an interesting point. That a lot of
so
people
these
have
kind
that.
of insecurities, or maybe he's happy with what he's doing. You don't want to go to the next level. But some people want to continually evolve and go through that ambition,
Yeah.
So if you have the ambition, then you need to put those structures and move on, right?
But my question is, this question also comes in. So they're scared to delegate now, or bring top talents, thinking that my business can be copied, my database can be taken, and etc. etc.
Yes.
So how would you go about it?
So absolutely, anyone can copy, right? So anyone can copy, or anyone can take your idea and take your company. These things can happen, but your chances, your possibilities when you go to the next level is much bigger. Your upside is much bigger than the downside. So you should do it. And then the other thing is, like, it's about how confident you are that, even if that happens, it doesn't matter. I mean,
Can you carry on, right?
I can carry on. My team can carry on, right? So don't worry too much about it, right? Because people can copy your idea. People can also copy your process, but no one can copy your passion and
exactly. That's my point. Like, we had this conversation,
work rate, right? So they can do it. Good luck. I mean, it's good, right?
Because the behind the scene,
Yeah.
what people don't see is the sacrifice that you put 15, 16, 18 hours.
Yeah.
And when your challenge happens,
and we have
all sorts of things.
We have put everything on the line,
Yes.
right? Your personal assets to everything, right? And if someone can do that, and I think we should support him to go and do that, right?
Exactly. But
I tell all my guys, okay, one day you guys start your own companies. I will support, and I want to be the first investor.
Exactly. This is what a lot of corporate miss. Yeah, because they have found out, Harvard research, 76% of the great startups started because their corporate leaders didn't support them. So they left 76% of the successful startup. So now you're saying, if you want to start a business, we can invest. Now that's a great way to go about it.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, you have with the success of that, you're invested in several.
Yeah. So the other thing, Ramindu, is like, okay, we had the NCINGA innovations. Yeah. We built from 0 to 1, and we sold it 15 times value, right? So 15 million. When we're doing 1 million revenue, sold it 15.5 million. So it's a 0 to 1 journey, but we jumped to 15 with the valuation, right? And then NCINGA, actually after that, last 3 years, we really took off, right, to the 10 million, from 1 to 10, right? So, and then we have started Ifinity, that is also in a journey, and I'm sure they will also reach 10 million in a couple of years. So it's not a one-time thing, right? We have done it once, twice, and the third one is also on the way. Now, the big game comes from that some of the money we are making from the in our previous exits and the current business. So we have invested back also in ventures. That's the next big thing. Where already we have invested about 10 startups, about 4 Sri Lankan startups, about 2 Bangladeshi startups, 1 Indian startup, 1 UK startup, and all are like, but like some of them are Sri Lankans who live overseas, some are Bangladeshis, Indians, right? So top talent, right? So the next thing is like we encourage, we want to see more and more entrepreneurs coming so that we can help them not only with money at early stage, but also we can mentor them, nurture them, coach them, and as a person and as a team, we are happy. Like if we can through adventures, if we can build 10 successful entrepreneurs who can do 100 million, 1 billion unicorns, then the problem of this country is also solved, right? Solved, right? So if we can inspire 1,000 entrepreneurs, and out of that, 100 will go somewhere, and out of them 10 will become, very successful.
Very successful. Yeah. That's one of the whole
So,
intention of this video also,
Yeah,
to show that you did it twice while based in Sri Lanka.
correct.
100%.
Yes.
Sourcing the talents from the
Some
ground.
will say that yes, we set up in Singapore. We are a Singapore. I saw like some people say, "Hey, it's not." Okay, can say that yes, we are in Sri Lanka. Talent is here. Also, we have used Singapore has helped us a lot as a government, as ecosystem. So we have leveraged that. If you want to build a $10 million company, if you want to build a $100 million company, unicorn, you have to think global, right? And if that benefits in some way or the other get transmitted to this ecosystem in terms of investment, in terms of jobs, in terms of inspiring people, in terms of creating these kind of facilities, drive thought leadership, then what more
job done.
you want, right? So this is what we are doing. Okay, we will leverage. Whoever helps us, they will also get benefited. That's fair, right? If Singapore helps you, and Singapore getting benefited in some way, that's good.
Multiple ways, right?
Right. So and if so, we have to think global, right? So because otherwise we can't grow. Like for example, Singapore thinks they're the capital of Asia. That's why they're there. So we have to think like that. Okay,
how to collaborate and how to leverage,
how to collaborate and then grow together.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And tell me now, you talked about the successes now. So what were the problems or failures you faced from 0 to 10?
Yeah, we had a lot of challenges. We were like, NCINGA innovations, we probably had like few moments where we were running out of money to even pay salaries. But somehow something happened. 24th, we don't have $1 to pay anything, and 25th we have money either from customer or from investors. We are back again, right? So I believe in someone up there, karma and all that, right? So helping us. So we had challenge with the capital initially. One of the gentlemen I want to also remember, Dinesh Shafter, late Mr. Dinesh Shafter. He was our first investor, and we were running out of cash. He's a guy who came in, no due diligence, nothing, wrote a check, and one of the good investments he done was with us, right? And he always thanked us for that, and I have to remember him. And then there was BOV Capital, Singapore Angel Network, a lot of people who have helped us along the way, and also during the exit, the getting connected with that Singapore like the companies like Selingo and then the other next set of investors, BOV and Singapore Angel Network, have helped us to get to do that exit, right? So So a lot of people have helped to come out of those difficulties. First thing was capital, right? Because and also we had certain people leaving our company in certain and difficult times. So we had to weather through that, right? And of course, difficult customers. Trying to. Some people thinks you give a business that we own this company, and these people have to be our slaves for rest of their lives. There are people like that also, right?
Also,
Okay, I've given you business, so now you are my slave. Because
give me cheap and
right. So, but there are great customers who understand value, appreciate value, pay the value, and respect you professionally, right? So there are a lot of different. So challenges were primarily around capital, mainly, and then people, right?
So that's where the great Tony Robbins said, if your purpose is good, and if you are courageous, the grace will come. That's what I gathered from this. The grace will come from somewhere.
So I believe so. Like if you do good, right? So good things, right things. Of course, we are not perfect, and I'm not a perfect person. We have a lot of imperfections. As long as you accept that, and you correct that, and you move for higher purpose and higher goal, then you are fine. Even for our customers, I always say, "Hey, can you do that? Can you guarantee that this system will work, or this will solve all my problems?" So I said, no, I can't guarantee that. But one thing I can guarantee: when the system breaks or that doesn't work, we will make sure that we'll be there to help you and fix it. And that's a guarantee that I can't give you any more guarantees that this will solve all your problems or this won't fail. And anything can.
Exactly. So a lot of entrepreneurs, especially Sri Lanka, right? They think sales is about you need to fabricate things. You need to lie a little, which I completely disagree. That's why this is the case, right?
Yeah.
You be sincere.
Yeah.
And educate the person. This is what we can do. And you got the deal, right?
Yeah. And customer, and I'll tell you one of the first large deals we got in NCINGA was Telecom Fiji. And we were doing some little works here and there. They were comfortable and they were happy with our talent. But then there was a big tender to completely transform their transport infrastructure from DWDM to IPM, PLS to ISP's data center, and the big boys play. And we were competing with players from Australia and New Zealand, well established, top companies, billion-dollar companies. And somehow we had a great team. We had the best proposal on the table, and we were also commercially competitive. And the working team also liked us because we were sincere in helping them problems. Whenever they call, hey, network is down or we are under attack, we don't talk about scope of work or SLA. Hey, go fix it. Talk about the commercials later. That was our approach. And still to date, we do that. So they liked that. But then this multi-million-dollar contract tender evaluation going to the board, and this other top companies also have their supporters from board to the C-level down there. So CTO called me up and say, Mal, this is the thing that you guys have done well up to now, but it's difficult for me to convince the board for this kind of a large deal because you're a smaller company, and you need to give me better financial picture, and also you need to give me a lot of references because the other big company have given their financial strength and their references. So you don't have any of that. So what do? I straight look up to his eyes and said, Misaki, I don't have that. But as individuals, this is my credential and this is other engineers' credentials. They have all worked for top companies. They have all done much bigger projects than this. This is not a big deal for us. These are personal credentials. As a company, I don't have that references. And I don't have these financials also. So I can't lie to you and your board that I have it. But what I can guarantee you, we execute this based on your budget in the timelines, and anything goes wrong, we will 100% guarantee that we will fix it, and we know how to fix it. And this is how we're going to do it. And if you want someone focus about you and to meet your requirements, you tell the board to work with us. If you want someone big, a big name with all that, then please go and work with them. So it's your decision. I can't. So because I didn't have that, right? So if I go and try to fabricate it, and then I'm sure, and I think that moment he probably decided, hey, I got to put my neck on for these guys.
Sincerity.
Right? Yeah. And I think he did. He did it. Yeah, he did it. And I think the board also probably backed him at that time. And then we also never let him down, So, and that was our major breakthrough in NCINGA, like similar to MAS in NCINGA Innovations. And from there, we went on from strength to strength. Currently, if you look at from Dialogue to SLT to Dirago to Orido to StarHub to Telecom, Tonga, PNG Telecom, you name it, like, a lot of telcos in the region. We are running the mission critical net. A lot of big banks. We are running their core banking systems. These are like millions of dollars passing through these systems every second,
Yeah. So good decision with the golden handshake.
Yeah, why not?
Pivot,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So great. And then I just want to quickly touch base on the acquisition. You sold the company to Singaporean firm.
Yeah.
You mentioned about valuation. So a lot of people have this misconception. It's all about the revenue. And some people sell the future value without doing anything. So how do we sell a company?
So first, you need to build a real business with real people, with real products or services, and with a real business value proposition, and where customers would happy to pay you certain amount of money for value you generate, and it has to be a real business, right? It may not be profitable in first few years, right? But you see the growth and you see the potential. That's what people like to see. So that real business, right, which solve real problems for your clients. So if you have that, then of course revenue has to be there, and then you have to have a plan to be profitable. Right now, not a lot of investors want to put money if you're not profitable, because previously it was about the growth and customer acquisition, and people kind of do certain tricks around their pitches, and then could attract a lot of money. But now it's very that is not happening. So because of that, anyway, like as an entrepreneur, you need to build a real business, right? So the valuations can vary. If you're a product company, depending on the market you are in, if you're a SaaS, recurring revenue based software company, your valuations could be anywhere between, it could be 5x of revenue, 10x of revenue, or 15x of revenue, depending on how valuable is your IPs for the buyer. If you're a services company, it could be 2 to 3x of your revenue, or probably it could be like 5 to 10 times of your EBITDA, or even more. Or it could be combination of both. This is how the companies are getting value. Like, for example, when we were doing 1 million revenue, we could sell the company for $15 million, right? Now in NCINGA we do $10 million revenue. I haven't done a valuation. Probably it values a lot more because people thinks about the growth, and like most of our revenues come from overseas, and our growth happens in overseas. If someone wants to enjoy that ride, then they need to pay a premium to come in, right? So because we have built everything, right? So that's how the valuation works. This is a simple thing, but again, like if you want to buy the land next to your house, the guy gonna ask you, give you at a higher price than to the market because they know that you want it more than anyone else, right? So it's like that, right?
And then is it important to build a business exit in mind?
I think you have to first build the business, build to last.
Build to last,
not build to sell.
That's great.
That's what I do. And when I was a first-time entrepreneur, a lot of people asked me this, and a lot of people told me that's a bad answer. Because investors want an exit, so they'll come. You have build it. You have exit in mind. Yes, fine. You need to have. If you're taking an investor, you need to have exit in mind. But you have to build it to last. It's not like you build something like paint it in such a way so that you can attract some people and sell it and go. That's a then you bad one time thing, right? But if you are an entrepreneur, you have to build something good, build something last, and that company will go whether you are there or not. So you need to get to that stage, professionalize. So you have to build to last, and then people will come and want to be part of that.
Yes, great. I think that's the best answer that I've heard.
Yeah.
So exit, then you have the choice, right? You can exit or you can stay.
Yeah. You have to build a sustainable business where it is attractive to anyone. So whether you are selling it or not is this thing, but you build it as if it's your own baby. It's like you're building your children. You're growing your children, right? You give them the best things. You want them to be the best in future
and sustain,
and then you build your companies also like that. Your own children.
And one last question before you round up. So, do you think it's important? Do you think geography is important for you to become a millionaire?
It is important, but let's say, for example, if the same company you build here could $1 million worth of company could worth $5 million if you build it in Singapore, if you build it in US. But so it is important in terms of valuation. It is in terms of market access. But now the point is, so because of that, do you have to leave this country and go there and do it? I don't think so. Right? So, like, I have lived in those countries, but I'm doing it from here. So you can still have your setups in those countries, and you're a global company. You think global, and of course, we happens to be here. We love this country and the people who live here, and you can build a global company, and then you can get those kind of valuations if you structure it in a way that it
right. So
it's global, right?
Think global.
Yeah, think global.
It's important.
Why Dilma build a global brand? We have a lot of other examples, from Mace to Brandix to Hydra. How many global companies we have, and they all these people live here.
Yeah,
so
great.
It is possible.
And then the last thing, so if you build businesses, we live in a country that we got too much attention to politics. So if you focus on our skills, build a business, we can actually do a great positive impact. So we have NCINGA Foundation.
Yeah. So recently we you have to think about the next generation, the impact we can do to inspire them. So we can inspire in many ways. One thing is setting an example for others to follow, and then they will take it positively and take it to the next level. And I would like to see if I can inspire 1,000 people, out of that 100 will do well, and maybe 10 people go beyond where I have gone, right? So, and I'll be the happiest. So you can inspire by doing what you do. And the other thing is, you can also help, like with the NCINGA Foundation, we call it NCINGA, the purpose is engineered for humanity. The foundation is foundation of humanity, right?
Okay.
So what we will allocate 10% of our net earnings to this foundation, and through this foundation, we will invest in projects, will help education in IT, entrepreneurship and leadership. This is what needed, because our economy needs more technology people, more entrepreneurs and more leaders. So whatever the proceedings will go on to help them. That will eventually help the country. If you have more tech people and if you train them, and in technologies like AI to blockchain to cybersecurity, the new, and then they will contribute to the economy. If we train more leaders, we'll have a lot of good people leading this country, right? No point just, bashing, okay, this guy didn't do that kind. So what can you do? And then also entrepreneurship. We'll have a lot of entrepreneurs, will create a lot of jobs here. So that's what NCINGA Foundation do. And then InVentures will invest in top entrepreneurs and for them to go global. We have done that, and we can fast track their journey. So we have invested in some of the top startups here, from MintPay to Simple Books to Kaiju Labs to Nanosoft, Wealtho, a lot. I mean, I may have missed few names. I'm sorry, guys, but we can help them fast track.
Brilliant. So that's the best part of it, right? When you become successful as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You can do a lot of good things. So it's within your control as well.
Correct.
To do that. So yeah, that's it. So thank you so much, and I highly appreciate again for allowing this podcast to share these. A lot of successful people out there who don't want to share, right? You decided to share because you have a vision to help, right?
Correct.
So highly appreciative of that, and very inspiring story as well, starting from Gampa and all that story that I've learned. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks, Ramindu.
All the best.
Congratulations on the
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.